Before I start, just to tell you what's in here. First is the executive summary of the AAA report that they're mentioning. Second is a study from Colorado that shows DUIs actually dropped last year compared to 2014. And third is the fatality final report from Colorado. It shows an increase in fatalities. It doesn't even mention marijuana. So first, let me say that the authors of the very study that our opponents are mentioning say that in no way could they imply impairment through this study. In no way does this study show impairment, prove impairment, or even suggest impairment. It's absolutely not true. What this study shows is presence of marijuana. Presence can stay in your system for up to 3 weeks after you use marijuana. It in no way might impact your driving. So this study is completely flawed, and them linking impairment to this study is refuted by the authors of the study themselves. Second, we have seen no increase in any state with fatalities due to impaired driving. It simply hasn't happened. In Colorado, we saw a decrease in OUI arrests in 2015 compared to 2014. And in Colorado, the Department of Transportation put out a year-end fatality report for 2015 that showed no increase in marijuana fatalities. In fact, marijuana isn't even mentioned in that study. They talk about distracted driving, lack of wearing seatbelts, lack of wearing motorcycle helmets. So our opponents linking increases in Washington due to impairment is absolutely false.
Do you agree with their overall point that the state is unprepared to deal with stoned drivers?
No, and I'll tell you why. Right now, police officers have every ability to pull over somebody who's driving impaired and take them off the road. They have that ability. All they need is probable cause. When they see somebody driving erratically, when they pull them over, they don't know if they've been drinking. They don't know if they're using drugs. They don't know if they fell asleep. All they know is that they're driving erratically. They pull them over. They have the ability to do a field sobriety test. If the driver fails the field sobriety test, they can take them off the road immediately. What we do need is the ability to prove in court that somebody is impaired on marijuana. We think the legislature should have done that after decriminalization passed in 2008, when it was the legislature and the DAs and the sheriffs who said we can't control the roads. They didn't do anything about it. In 2012, they all said the same thing. It's going to be carnage on the streets. We can't prove marijuana intoxication. It passed. They did nothing. So now it's the legalization movement that has spurred all this new technology. Next year, in 2017, there's going to be 2 new field studies on the road. One will be intelligent fingerprinting that will determine recent marijuana use. The other one will be a saliva test that will determine recent marijuana use. And that's the key. These studies are in the field, and we think they'll rapidly be accepted into courts.
Is the fingerprint test like you put your fingerprint on it?
Fingerprint, it'll be a handheld instrument. It's a field instrument. You put your fingerprint on it, and from the molecules, from the sweat molecules in your fingerprint, they'll be able to detect recent marijuana use.
And again, that would be voluntary, right, Jim?
Be voluntary, just like anything else, same as a breathalyzer.
Like a breathalyzer.
Yeah.
What about in terms of determining what THC level constitutes impairment?
Well, that's up to the legislature. We think there should be a per se limit. We think the legislature should have done this a long time ago. Again, look at 2008 and 2012, when the very same people who are now saying it's going to be terrible in the streets said the same thing, and they did nothing about it. We're all for a per se limit, and we think the legislature should look at that. We couldn't put it in our initiative because it wouldn't have been constitutional. We don't think it would have passed the requirements of the AG. But we do think the legislature should do it. We think they should have done it years ago.